What is up, LudyBros Army? It is your bro, Big Bro Lamar Ludy, sitting down to bring you guys another deck profile today. I'm bringing you guys the Shroom and Salsa deck that I settled on after the last set came out. I wanted to get this deck profile out to you guys because I wanted to show it to you as I settled on it from the last set. I think that I'm going to make some changes to it once set 13 comes out, and there's a few other cards. I know that they're designed for the Mekigabora leader, but I feel like they might have some applications for Shroom and Salsa, but I wanted to get the deck profile out the way that I currently have it constructed. So if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, turn that notification bell on. We're going to keep trying to deliver some content to you guys on the regular. So let's go ahead and jump into this deck profile. So the reason why I wanted to build this deck was because I really liked the leader. I thought the guys looked pretty cool. Their name, Shroom and Salsa, Might of the Demon Gods. I just liked how everything was kind of lining up with this leader when he was revealed last set. But let's go ahead and see what he does. Auto, when this card attacks, you're going to draw one card. And then his next auto is once per turn if this card is in a battle. When you use a black battle card in a combo, your opponent sends one battle card from their drop area to their warp. If there are no battle cards in your opponent's drop area, you'll get to draw one card. So in the early game, it's very easy to have that effect go off, and that's what you kind of want to do is combo. Well, the way that I run this particular deck, I combo quite a bit in the early game to go ahead and try to maximize those extra draws. He awakens when your life's at 4 or less, or your opponent has 4 or more cards in their warp. You can draw one, switch up to one of your energy to active mode, and flip this card over. So you want to pay attention to your opponent's warp area because that's going to give you an opportunity for an early awakening. And it becomes Shroom and Salsa, Might of the Demon Gods. Auto, when this card attacks, you're going to draw one card, so that's still the same. And so is the next auto of using a black battle card in a combo. Your opponent sends one battle card from the drop area to the warp. If there's no battle cards there, then you get to draw one. Then he has an activate main once per turn for one energy. If there are no battle cards in your opponent's drop area, you can choose up to one black evil wizard, demon realm race, or demon god card with an energy cost of 2 or less in your deck or your hand. Play it, then shuffle your deck if you looked through it. So thanks to that secondary auto, that kind of gears and which way we're going to go ahead and build the deck, kind of filling it up with those cards that meet those particular specifications. So up first, I chose for my turn 1 play 4 copies of Toa Dimensional Convoker. Auto, when this card is played, look it up to 5 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 1 black evil wizard, demon realm race, or demon god card among them to your hand, then you'll shuffle your deck. There are so many things that this card is able to search out in this deck, from the pieces, your skillless pieces, to your super combo, even to the secret rare that I'm running in this deck. All of them are searchable with this card. Activate main once per turn for 1 energy. If your leader card is black, you can play up to 1 skillless demon god card with 15,000 power from your deck or your drop area. Then shuffle your deck if you looked through it. So this is going to be our starter. This is our starter engine. 4 copies of Toa Dimensional Convoker to start things off. And then I'm running 3 copies of another Toa card, Toa Secret Maneuver. Auto, once per turn, when this card is played or attacks, look it up to 5 cards from the top of your deck and add up to 1 Demon Realm Race card among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So once again, we're still using Toa to search. She's playable off of that Leader's Activate main once per turn for 1 energy. So she's going to come out adding in more searching for the deck. She's 15k, so she's going to be able to threaten your opponent's leader on their awakened side, which is very, very useful. Plus, she's acting as a target for this next card, which we're running 2 copies of Toa the Dark Sorceress. So this card has Deflect. It's an EX Evolve for 1 energy onto a Toa with an energy cost of 2 or more that isn't a copy of this card. So you can play her out onto the top of this Toa Secret Maneuver. Auto, when this card is played, you'll draw 1 card, then shuffle up to 4 battle cards from your opponent's drop area into their deck. So taking those 4 battle cards from your opponent's drop area could be very useful to help you reach that requirement of not having any cards in the drop area. So we're going to run 2 copies of her to evolve on top of the Toa Secret Maneuver. So I think that's the whole Toa package. Now let's check out some other cards that are great targets for that leader's effect. We're running 3 copies of Mekigabora, the Broken Seal. He also has Deflect, which helps him get out onto the board for sure. Auto, when this card is played, you're going to declare an original energy cost and character name. Until the end of your opponent's next turn, your opponent can't play cards with both the declared character name, and original energy cost, and then you can't play copies of this card for your next turn. So if you know what you're going against, knowing your matchup is pretty crucial here. You can go ahead and call out something that your opponent's going to try to play out to stop them in their tracks, and go ahead and get your strategy going before they're able to get theirs. So we're running 3 copies of Mechikabura, the Broken Seal, and we're going to follow that Mechikabura up with Mechikabura, the King's Summons. He has an activate main for 2 energy. If your leader card is a black demon realm race, and you place this card from your hand and 1 card in your life into the drop area, you can send 1 battle card from your opponent's drop area to their warp, and then play up to 2 black battle cards with evil wizard and or demon realm race cards with energy cost of 2 and different character names that aren't Mechikabura cards from your deck. So this Toa Secret Maneuver is a target, and all the cards that are getting ready to come up next are also targets for this card's effect. So this is kind of like your combo starter for 2 energy. So there's lots of different routes that we can take this deck here by seeing these 5 cards here. You can see that we can start with the Toa Dimensional Convoker, then you can tap the 1 energy on your next turn, or on that turn 2, you can tap the 2 energy to go ahead and get you some skillless cards out. And speaking of those skillless cards, which also the Toa Secret Maneuver, just the Toa Secret Maneuver fall under that. But here's the skillless cards. We're going to run 4 copies of Shroom. And I decided to max out on my skillless package here. So we're going to run 4 copies of Shroom, as well as 4 copies of Salsa. So I wanted to max out on the skillless package because I wanted to try and ensure that I was playing. Not only did I have enough combo pieces, because your leader has to combo away black cards, but I also wanted to do as much as I possibly could to see these cards. And we'll start off with these Salsa, a new demon god. So we're playing 4 copies of Salsa. I want to go ahead and take advantage of his activate main as much as possible. Activate main for 1 energy. Choose 1 of your black skillless battle cards with an energy cost of 2 or 3 and return to the owner's hand. You can play this card from your hand. Auto, when this card attacks, send up to 1 battle card from your opponent's drop area to their warp. If there are no battle cards in your opponent's drop area, choose up to 1 black evil wizard, demon realm race, or demon god card with an energy cost of 2 or less from your hand or your drop area and play it. You definitely want to see Salsa out there, because if you're able to get that off, then you're going to start loading up the field, your side of the field, and putting pressure on your opponent. Plus, he's 20k. If they're able to remove him, that's why I'm running these at their max, because I want to see them as often as possible. And we're going to follow that up with 4 copies of Shroom, a new demon god. He has the same activate main, which allows him to come out by returning a black skillless battle card to your hand. Auto, when this card attacks, send up to 1 battle card from your opponent's drop area to their warp. If there are no battle cards in your opponent's drop area, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and send it to the owner's warp. So as you can see there, with this card attacks or when the Salsa attacks, you're going to have different effects going on. And I wanted to make sure that I was seeing these guys as often as possible so I could go ahead and hit whatever parameters I needed to hit, whether that was swarming out the field or getting rid of problematic cards on their side of the field. Since I'm running so many of these skillless cards, I'm trying to see this interaction happen as often as possible. We're going to run 4 copies of SS3 Tag Team Sun Gohan. We're going to run 4 copies of him because of his auto. When a black battle card is removed from your battle area by a skill, then you can activate this skill, which is to play this card from your hand. He's a blocker. You're going to use him to try and protect yourself as often as possible. When you're doing plays like this Mechikabura where you're critting lives away from yourself, you could find yourself getting down pretty low pretty quickly. So we want that extra protection here. Every time a Shroom or Salsa leaves based off this effect, then he's coming out. That's why we're running these at their maximum. We want to see that happen at least 2 to 3 times per game. And then our counterplay is the 2 copies of Deborah Darkness Perfected. Counterplay, play this card. Permanent, if all of your energy is black, you can reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand and your drop area by 1, so he comes down to 2 energy. Auto, during your opponent's turn, when you play this card, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, and it can't attack or activate skills for the duration of the turn. This guy is also searchable off of that Toa Dimensional Convoker. He's a Demon Realm race, so he's also searchable off of the Toa Secret Maneuver. So we're able to search out our counterplay. Now for the super combos, I decided to go with the 2-2 split. I went with the 2-2 split because I like to be able to search out my super combos, which is what this is going to allow us to do by searching for evil wizards. But we are running 2 copies of Super Saiyan Vegeta, the Prince Strikes Back, because this card just allows you to draw so much. You take 1 card from your hand that you might not need at the time, you put it to the bottom of your deck, and you're going to be able to draw 2. So we are going to run 2 copies of him. And then we're also running 2 copies of Bibbidi Primeval Conjurer. This is still a good super combo, even though it was nerfed. When you combo with this card from your hand, this card's going to get plus 1,000 combo power for each card in your drop area or your warp, up to a maximum of 12 for a total of 15k. He's searchable though, so that's what I like about it. You never know when you might need to add in that extra combo power. Our negate for the deck, we're running 4 copies of Power Burst. We're going to run 4 copies of Power Burst because this is a Sparking Negate. We're going to have 5 cards in the drop area very quickly off of our Leader's effect of constantly having to combo cards. Also, if your lead card is black, you'll negate the attack, then choose up to 1 black battle card from your drop area or your warp with an energy cost of 1 and add it back to your hand. We're talking about the Toa Dimensional Convoker. So we want to make sure we're able to get her back whenever we need it. For some toolboxy cards, Dimensional Banisher Fu comes in for Overwhelm 5 and 1 energy. When you play this card with Overwhelm, you'll choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and send it to their warp. So that's good removal with Double Strike, 20k. We're going to run 1 copy of Secret Identity Mass Saiyan, Overwhelming 6, and this guy's free. When this card is played using Overwhelm, you'll choose any number of your opponent's battle cards that add up to a total energy cost of 6 or less, and you'll send them to the owner's warp, so more removal if we need it. I'm running 2 copies of Dark Masked King, Devilish Dominator. He has Deflect and Triple Strike. Auto, once per turn when this card attacks, you'll send up to 2 battle cards from your opponent's drop area to their warp. If your opponent has 10 or more cards in their warp, then he can restand. Auto, if your opponent activates a counter skill during a battle with this card, send 1 card in your opponent's life to their warp. And that's once per turn. And then he has an activate main where you can cheat him out for 4 energy. If your leader card is black and your opponent has 3 or more cards in their warp, play this card from your hand. So we're running 2 copies. That way, if you see one early on, then you can go ahead and charge it, but you know that there's still going to be one lurking in your deck. And then for the secret rare for this deck, I chose Beyond Darkness Demigra. I chose him because he's a demon god, which makes him searchable off of that Toa Dimensional Convoker. And once again, just like the super combo, anytime that you have a secret rare that is searchable, might as well go ahead and run it. Dark Overwhelm for 5 energy, and he's got Triple Strike. When this card attacks, your opponent reveals their hand. Choose up to 4 battle cards from it and combo with them in your combo area. So that is the SCR for the deck. And this was my build for Shroom and Salsa, Might of the Demon Gods. This deck's a lot of fun. And that's mostly how the strategy is for me. It's a lot of fun to have it go off. I really liked the cards and the artwork, and I'm looking forward to the stuff that's going to be coming in set 13. This deck might see some changes once that comes out, but for now, I've enjoyed playing this deck as built. All right, well, thank you guys for tuning into this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed the content, and be on the lookout for more content from LudyBros Entertainment, and I'll see you guys next time.